Hey everyone, in this video I want to walk you through the steps for how you can create your own custom keynoting system within Archicad. It's one of those few features that we don't actually get out of the box. So we'll be creating some custom properties, labels, and interactive schedules to tie this all together so you can tag your plans, sections, elevations, and 3D documents with this important information. So let's jump into a quick workflow and I'll show you all about it. Hey everyone, welcome to another CONTRABIM tutorial video on Archicad. In this session, we are going to be talking about keynotes and how to create some custom properties to help manage the information behind them. We'll talk about the labels that we can use to apply the keynotes to different model elements within our project. And then we'll also go through a little exercise and start assigning some new keynotes to an interior elevation. But before we jump into it, make sure to subscribe if you like this type of content and ring the little bell to get the notifications when we post new videos. We try to post new videos, at least a few per week, and it helps us out a lot if you just subscribe to the channel and like the content, and we'll continue doing it. So let's go ahead and jump into a new site plan here that we have set up. And let's first just do a quick review of how we have set up this system for keynoting. Actually, before we even do that, let's just talk about what keynotes are. So essentially what they are is they are tags or labels that we can give different elements within our model. So this becomes really useful when we want to actually start creating a numbered list, or a list of different types, or even a list that refers us to specific specification sections. So there's a lot of different purposes for keynotes. They can be used for walls, different floor finishes, different interior elevations. There's a ton of different applications here, and really you can set up a system, I believe, that can allow you to be very flexible in how you use them and customize them however you want at the same time. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it a little bit more now, and we'll talk about how we've actually started setting this up. And hopefully you can follow along with these steps and do something similar on your own if you've been struggling to figure out how to do keynotes, because I've searched different forums out there and I know there's some information on some different plugins and different ways that you can add other software to do some of this for you. But like everything else I like doing in Archicad, I like to do it kind of out of the box without any special plugins and just by using the software to its maximum potential by itself. So, okay, so let's take a look at this slab that we have here. It's actually a stone paving mesh that we've laid out. And I've added in 3 specific keynotes here. One for like a numbering, another for a type, and a third for a specification section. Well, where is this information coming from? If we select our mesh here and we go into our properties, I'll show you exactly where. So I've set up a brand new section of the CONTRABIM properties set here that is built for keynotes and specifications. Now, this is something that's really brand new. I've added it into the latest version of our CONTRABIM residential template, which was released just last week. So if you're interested in learning more about that, there's a ton of functionality packed into here, from quantification, estimating, scheduling. Check out some additional videos that are going to be coming out on the rest of that there. I'll leave a link in the product description here, or the project description, and you can check that out if you want. But one of the things I'm most excited about with this release is just the fact that we've added in all these keynotes. So that's hence why I wanted to do a video on it. So the first step here with these keynotes is I thought it was really important to be able to break out these keynotes into different plan types, because it's really useful to actually run these keynote reports into specific interactive schedules. And we can actually do that here by tagging what type of plan type keynote we are searching for. And as long as the model elements are tagged with either a number or a type, it'll then be populated on that plan based off the filter we provided here. So this option here for tagging it with a specific plan type allows us to filter through and create architectural site plans or floor plan keynotes, RCPs, finishes, and so on. There's really no limit to how many different types of plans that we can create, which help us organize our keynotes into nice interactive schedules, as you'll see right here. Let's just open this one up real quick. This will be our site plan keynote, and you'll see how it's just a listing of information relating to those items that we've tagged with our site plan. So here we have our numbering system, we have types, we have related specification sections, we have descriptions that we can just type in here, and we also, in this case, added in a 2D plan preview. So, okay, so let's go a little bit deeper into this here. So we have this mesh. We've tagged it to our site plan. We've given it a number and a type. We have a specification section here. Now, within the CONTRABIM workflow, we use a lot of, and we place a lot of importance on this cost code that we set up here. So because the cost codes in this system really relate to the specification system that we're working in, we've just set this up as an expression here to pull that cost code down, and that's our spec section we are working with. We can always go in here and give this like a subset here, or tag it with like a custom value after the fact, or we could even go in and create an expression that actually adds our cost code plus one of these if we wanted. But we have a lot of different options here. I'm going to just set this back to the default expression, and it will then just relate it back to our cost code. Of course, we have the opportunity for using just our description here for typing in, you know, whatever we want to have show up in our keynotes. And then, of course, we also have kind of the more general information, such as, you know, manufacturer, model, materials, serial numbers, you know, the website. We can add all this information in down here as well. So, okay, so to kind of drive this point home about these properties that we've created, let's actually take a quick look at the property manager here. And so the first thing with these plan types that I want to point out is we've set these up to actually allow you to create multiple choices here. So you can tag a keynote for like a site plan, as well as a floor plan, as well as a section and an elevation. You can tag a keynote for like an interior elevation and like a finish plan. So there's ways that you can duplicate this up so you can get these keynotes to show up on different types of schedules and have them placed on different drawing views that relate those keynotes to them. So I just wanted to make that point very clear. Okay, so we have our types. Sorry, our number, our type, our spec section. This is just simply an expression that we're going in and looking for the property. That's a little trick there. If you don't have it highlighted and you go into the properties and parameters, you don't necessarily know where it's coming from. But if you click on it, highlight it, and then go into your expression properties, it'll highlight it for you from the list. So little tip there on how to just quickly find things. So that's an easy expression. We have our description, and then we also have interior finish notes and descriptions, exterior finish notes and descriptions, which are really useful for different composite assemblies where, say, you have a wall and you want to tag the interior finish as well as the exterior finish. You can do that in this same exact manner. Okay, so let's take a look at how this all gets placed onto a specific drawing here. So we'll pull up our new site plan in this case. And so here we have kind of a combination of our 2D layout as well as a 3D document that you can see here. And what's great about these keynotes is you can add them in multiple different views, whether it's plan view, section, elevation. These are really just labels, and so we can go through and tag them wherever we have a model element that we can relate it to. So here we can see our keynotes coming through. We can see our little keynote legend up here, which is interactive. So again, as you modify and add these and tag different items, this is going to change and just continue to be updated even when you start changing your different pens and spec sections. There's a lot of good things about having this being interactive. And then of course we can see these keynotes down here in our 3D document. Okay, so let's open the source view here and talk a little bit more about the labels that we're actually using. So here we have a label, and first thing I want to point out is this is a property label. Now, the reason that I like using property labels here is it gives us the opportunity to really go in and tag one or more types of properties. So it's just a really simple way of going in, and we can just tag our keynote numbers, types, or spec sections that we pull up here. So that's a really nice feature of using our property label here. I'm going to exit out of this, and let's actually add in a few different versions here. So under our label tool, we have a few favorites set up. That's actually one other thing I wanted to spend a lot of time on with this template release, was creating a lot of these favorites. So we can do a keynote for the number and simply just drop that in. We can do a keynote for the spec section and drop that in. So we have a number of different ways of taking these, and you'll notice, as obviously you should here by looking at these three, we have these options for creating these nice different shapes to go along with it. So that's the other great reason that using a property label is wonderful for this purpose, is it has a wide range of different label geometries that we can use. So I tend to, depending on what the content is, like if it's just a single number, like the 1 over here, then I'm okay using like a circle or one of these rotated squares, or even one of these triangles or these other, you know, kind of, I would say box type shapes. But when you're using something that's a little bit more linear shape like this, or a longer description, then it's great to use one of these more rectangular versions, like this rounded rectangle or the rectangle or the pointed rectangle. These do a really good job of just kind of fitting it to the shape. We can check this little option here that fits the frame to text, but if we change this to say like a triangle, it doesn't really do much here. I mean, it's tough to fit that within that shape and keeping it like nice and, you know, narrowed down and kind of optimized in the size of it. So I like using these for different purposes. If it's a longer description here, I'll definitely want to do one that hugs the text a little bit more. Okay, the other thing we can do is we can actually add in some leader lines and tag these right here. So you'll see that we created just a little leader line there. You can add an extension on there as well, which is more useful in this case if it was like in a 2D view, such as a wall. So okay, so we can tag these, and yeah, once again, we just have a lot of different options for how we represent those. Okay, so now that we've talked about these different methods here, let's also, actually I want to point out one other thing. So with our label tool here, we can always just add normal labels here as well. So we can go in and we can just simply like take this, pull it off to the side if we wanted to, and we could start adding in, I'm going to make this slightly larger. We could do auto text here as well. So we could give it like a number, a type, a spec section, and a description, and we can have all of these things just being auto referenced in using our auto text. So that's another option. We can use keynotes in our labels just as easily. So yeah, that's a really great way of representing this as well. Okay, let's jump into an example and actually go through the steps of creating some of these keynotes from scratch. And where I want to do that in this case is, let's actually navigate to our interior elevations here, and we're just going to pull up a kitchen interior elevation. And what I'd like to do is just kind of reinforce this point excuse me, by going through and actually starting to tag these keynotes up for, say, like our kitchen cabinets in this case. Certainly we have other ways that we can run reports on these types of things like, I think we already have this set up where we have some different legends for Casework. So I could pull this up, and there's other ways, of course, that we can get these listings of different types of casework in our project. We can do it this way, which is kind of just like a listing of a bunch of different stuff. So this could potentially be used as a keynoting system. We can also go here to say like a cost report, and I think that we have all these showing up on our furnishings cost report here. So again, this is the same model elements, just being reported in a little different manner. So so here we go. We now have our casework kitchen with a lot of different values coming through, but most importantly in this case, cost. So we're building up an estimate with this, but we also have this other option here of using our keynotes for interior elevations if we want to really kind of focus down the information and present it in a more consolidated format. So that's what we're going to build up here in this quick little exercise. So, all right, let's go back to our kitchen elevations here. And you'll notice on our interiors, we don't have anything showing up. Our scheme settings here. So we are looking for anything that is tagged with an interior elevation. And now this is the important part, and has a custom type or number or a custom type. So we need to match both of these criteria here. We need to match this one or one of these criteria. So that's when we'll start getting to populate our schedule here. Okay, finally, let's get into this here. So let's just go through, and we'll just start with this kind of central cabinet here. And the first step is, let's actually just go in and we'll just drop a keynote onto here. So we have this set up, our keynotes for interiors. So let's just go ahead and we'll tag it here. And notice that it's blank right now. There's nothing in here. But if we go in and we start assigning this to our interior elevations, we can give it a number. We actually don't even need to give it a number. In this case, I want to use something similar to our ID. So this is going to be a cabinet base is what the B will be. We can see it's already populating. This is a 24 and it's a 3 drawer is what we'll use in this case. And so with that, we can give it a description here, or let's go check our interior keynotes. So we've matched 2 of those criteria, so we should be seeing it here, and yes we are. And so now we can just tag this with a nice description: kitchen cabinet base. This is 24 inches wide, 3 drawers, top drawer 6 inches, bottom 2 drawers, equal height. And we can call this you know, like, I don't know, factory painted finish white, something like that. We could give it the poles type, I don't know, XX. So we can really go through here and describe exactly what we want in this particular element. So it's as easy as that. So we can continue on and just keep tagging these. So I can just pick up the label and we'll drop it right here, and then simply we can just go in and repeat our same steps there. So really easy to do this. Cabinet, we'll just do a few. Cabinet base, in this case this is a 30, and we have 2 drawers, sorry, one drawer, 2 door. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I already had a little bit of a description in there. So, okay, so there we go. We can see now it's populating. Very nice. And so, yeah, I think you probably are starting to understand what we're doing here. So with this, of course, we could go through and, you know, tag other content as well. It doesn't necessarily need to be cabinets. We can go and tag like a backsplash just as easily. So there's really no limits to how we can set these up. We just need to kind of play within these rules, and it all works for us. So tile K1, kitchen backsplash. So tile backsplash, these are 12 by 12 multi-color type. Yeah. So we may not get all the same previews coming through on our interior elevation schedule here, but nonetheless, we can still get a nice description here and modify it over on this side. So, okay, so that's it. If you have any questions on this workflow, then please just leave it in the comment section. Hopefully you picked up a few little tips and tricks from this video here, as well as enjoyed watching it. Hopefully this kind of opens your mind into some different methods for how we can go through and create these different keynotes that can really be used all over the place, whether it's 3D documents, sections, elevations. There's really no limits to this. So yeah, I thank you for watching, and once again, if you like this type of content, definitely much appreciated if you share and you know, share it with your community, anyone that you know who might be able to benefit from this. And also, if you are interested in picking up this residential template, we just released it last week, so I'll leave the product link in the description. We're actually running a little bit of a special through the end of the month, so make sure to check out the website if you are interested in picking up this template. So we'll have a few other videos here kind of highlighting some other parts and pieces of it as well this week. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. We will catch you on another video very soon. Thanks for watching.